KNICKS Sixers. Pronounce. NBA Cup group play. It was Embiid's first game. We'll get to these courts later. But it was, of course, Embiid's first game back, 111-99. Cat with 21, Hart with 14, 12, and 10. PG at 29. And Embiid finished with 13 points, 2 of 11 from the field. That was in 26 minutes. They got him back, but they lost by double digits to New York. Let's start with some positives, Chandler. What were some of the positives we can take away from Philly here?
Positive is that where Joel Embiid played, and now listen, he wasn't aggressive, he didn't look like himself, and this is concerning to me because clearly he's not well, and he's already said he's not going to play back-to-backs, but then last night he says he kind of wants to play tonight, so we'll see how that goes, but even if he doesn't play back-to-backs, you know how many times there's 2 games in 3 nights where it's going to be interesting to see how his knee responds during that. But a positive, I mean, you got him back in the lineup. Paul George looks great. He looked like he's getting his legs back. And they have an absolute stud in their rookie, Jared McCain. He is an absolute flamethrower, scorer, create his own shot. So there are some positives to look out of this. But again, this team is so built now with this big 3 to win. So when one of them are out, 2 of them are out, it's just tough to get that consistency.
Yep.
But, I mean, those, I guess, would be the only positives here. But they've dug themselves such a deep hole. It's going to be tough for them, especially with the unknown of Joel Embiid. He didn't look like himself. And to take 3 shots in the first half, I think people were frustrated because they wanted to see him come out and be aggressive. But clearly he doesn't have that in him right now. He is hurt. So I feel for the guy. Like, he is not himself, and it's showing. And
there's a fatigue level. Look, we're no experts, right, Lou? Well, you might be. But he looked a bit fatigued. 8 points at halftime, and all of that was on free throws. He had 2 rebounds, finished with 13 and 3 rebounds. I told you it was 26 minutes. It's hard to get the cardio side of things when you're not really available to do a lot of that. I don't know, as far as the road back, Lou, what realistically this is going to end up looking like for him.
I don't know, and that's the problem with how this whole saga started in the offseason. You know, now we got so many questions. You know, instead of us trying to find a solution to what's next, we still got questions about the past. You know, when is he going to find his rhythm? When is he going to find that chemistry with his teammates? When is he going to get into game shape? And again, this is a team that's playing on a back-to-back tonight. Off season, he said he's not playing in back-to-backs. So now you're looking at what your record is 2-9. What is it?
Yeah, and they played Cleveland, and the hottest team in the.
Yeah, you're 2-8.
Just still undefeated.
You're 2-8. You got your ass whooped last night. Now you're here on the back-to-back in the hottest team that's in the association. Do you play? Ooh. Do you give your team an opportunity to go out there and try to win a game or get yourself going? Like, it's so many questions surrounding Joel Embiid right now, and it's unfortunate. But, you know, last night he didn't look great. I'm sure he'll attest today. He didn't look really good. But, again, usually as a player, when you have a back-to-back, this is an opportunity for you to get back on track if you didn't play well in the first one. But, you know, they've publicly stated that he's not going to play in back-to-backs, and now he's saying it's up to the medical team to decide whether he's going to play. Like, this should be a feel. If you feel like you're healthy enough to play, you should go out on the floor and compete.
And he could play. Look, he technically could play tonight.
Right. And so, again, it's so many questions surrounding the Philadelphia 76ers and how, you know, they've handled this Joel Embiid thing. And Joel Embiid deserves some of that responsibility because he was the person to come out during this offseason and say, I'm not going to play in back-to-back. So I'm curious and I'm concerned about how they move forward. I don't know what's ahead.
I do think if he played tonight, I think it would set him back long term.
Really?
I think that knee is worse than people think, and the dude is struggling and the dude is in pain. So I do think that would hurt him in the long run. And you could tell by watching him last night, he's got some possible flopping fines coming because when he's going, he's aggressive. He is going through people's chests. Last night, it's almost like he was so rusty and so tired where he was trying to flop, trying to get to the free throw line, which he did a good job in the first half.
But you don't love it.
You don't love that. You don't want him settling. You don't want your 6, 7 foot, 300-pound, horse settling like that.
When is he gonna get better?
Yeah, how?
Like,
I don't think he's gonna. I think this.
How do you do it?
I don't know.
So can I ask a dumb question? If you're the Sixers, I get it. The toothpaste is out of the tube as far as saying I'm never going to play back-to-backs. That's a problem.
How do you get the toothpaste back in?
You don't. That's the problem here. So it's out there. We all reacted to it, and we continue to react to it. If you're the team, is there not some benefit in saying he is hurt really, really badly? We're shutting this down for 2 months. That way we know for a fact He is not playing.
I think that's going to come to head sooner than we think. I think you have to start planning this season for sure without Joel Embiid.
Gotcha.
How many times more are you going to put him out there when they know how severe it is? I can't not trust my eyes. I see Joel Embiid. He's in pain. He's not running back. He's not sprinting. He's not changing directions. He's doing nothing that he was doing when he was the MVP. So this is a completely different player. He's not himself, which is why I feel for the guy. And I know him
Mm-hmm.
media-wise. He's getting scrutinized. He wants to play. And I'm telling you, it's just going to make it worse. So I see this coming to an end here real soon. And I feel for the guy. But I think long-term, this is best. He just re-signed his contract. I think it's going to get shut down here soon. They have to plan with going with Drummond, going with Ubaseli. They have to go with these guys because I just don't see a world this season where Joel Embiid is back to himself without some sort of operation.
Listen, I hate to be the negative person up here, but I don't see what that does for the 76ers if you sit them down for 2 months, right? Like,
No, I think it's the season or nothing. I think it's
it's the season or nothing. Like no more delays because this is going to get tense with the fan base. It's already bubbling. You know, we're 2 weeks away from just having a blow up with a reporter.
Yeah.
The next step is going to be the fan base, and that's going to
kind of started.
Yeah, and that's going to come off. That's going to come off the heels of the uncertainty. They don't know when he's going to play. Like tonight, we're sitting here. It's 10-17 in Philadelphia right now. They don't know if he's going to play or not tonight. And so there shouldn't be any of these things that are left unanswered. And then you sit him out for another 2 months. So when is he actually going to play? It's so many questions. And that's my issue with this thing. It's bad PR. I don't think it was handled very, very well. And now, you know, on top of that, you have a team that's struggling as a whole. You know, you're looking at a 2-8 record and your best player is unavailable. Where do you go from there?
It's bad optics because their team is struggling. He's making a bunch of money. The outside world thinks he's healthy. He knows he's not healthy, so he's playing, so he's not playing good. So that's what I'm saying. I think personally for him and for the team, it's just best to shut him down, have him ready for next season. You still get Paul George back. You still get Tyrese Maxey back, and then you go into that. But
that was the narrative last year, Chandler.
But
he didn't do it. He wanted to play in the Olympics, and he wanted to get a gold medal.
Also, remember what he looked like in the playoffs against the Knicks? Then he looked like the way he did in the Olympics. So where in that period of time was there supposed to be the cushion of getting better?
I think
there was just not.
Soon, unfortunately.
Here we are.
So it's at the cost of the Sixers. See, that's where it's going to get ugly, I'm afraid.